You are walking on a quiet trail when you suddenly realize a terrifying truth. You are completely lost. No sign on mobile, no GPS, only you against wild nature. Your heart shoots, panic tries to take care, but stop. Before continuing, if this content can save your life one day, leave your like now and subscribe to the channel so as not to lose any survival tips that can make a difference between living or dying. What I will teach you now can literally be the difference between life and death. These are not just common survival tips. They are tested and approved techniques that have saved thousands of lives around the world. And at the end of this video, you will find a secret about smartphones that can save you even when the battery is over. The first rule of survival that most people break and that can kill them on the first night: never sleep directly on the forest floor. This is practically a death sentence for hypothermia. The floor sucks the heat from your body 25 times faster than cold air. But here is what you need to do to build a shelter that can save your life. First, find or create a high platform using twigs, small trunks, or a mountain of compacted dried leaves. Your body should be isolated from the floor. This is the difference between waking up alive or not waking up again. Use all layers of clothing you are available and cover everything with dried leaves and branches to create an insulation cocoon. But here comes the secret that can shock you. If you have bubble plastic, yes, those packaging balls, you just found pure gold for survival. Scientific studies have shown that bubble plastic creates a 70 insulating shield, % more effective than 3 cotton blankets together. It is literally a state-of-the-art survival technology disguised as packaging material. Of course, if you can resist the irresistible temptation to burst the bubbles. Now let's go to the feature that determines if you will survive or become statistics. Water. Your body is an incredibly sturdy machine that can work up to 3 weeks without food, but only 3 to 4 days without water. After that, their organs start to fail one by one. So finding drinking water is not optional, it is a matter of life or death. But beware, there are dangerous myths that can kill you faster than thirst itself. The first, drink your own urine. This is not survival, it is suicide disguised. When you drink urine, you are forcing your kidneys to process the same toxic waste twice, accelerating dehydration and may cause kidney failure. It's like drinking concentrated seawater, and that classic scene of cacti water removing movies? Another deadly myth. Most cacti protects their pulp with lethal acids and alkaloids that will cause you violent vomiting, explosive diarrhea, and, ironically, even more severe dehydration. You can die trying to moisturize. So what is the real solution? Here are 3 revolutionary techniques that really work. The first technique is so simple that it looks magical. Take any plastic bag, it can be garbage, shopping, anyone, and tie into a leafy tree that receives direct sun during the day. Tie tight to the greener and let the physics work for you. The sun will heat the leaves, forcing the water stored in them to evaporate and condense inside the bag. In a few hours you will have clean water, distilled by nature itself. It's like having a water factory working alone. The second technique has been developed by Australian Aborigines over thousands of years and is absurdly efficient. Tie rags, cloths, or even tufts of grass to your ankles and leave for a walk before sunrise. Walk through areas with high grass that are still covered with morning dew. The fabric will absorb moisture like a giant sponge. Then just twist everything in a container. Aboriginal can collect up to 1 liter of pure water per hour with this ancestral technique. The third technique is pure observation of nature. Watch out for bees, flies, or other insects repeatedly flying toward specific holes in trees. They know where the water is. Take a cloth or absorbent material, tie on a stick, and use it as a giant sponge to extract accumulated water on these natural holes. Now that you have water, you need to master the element that has separated humanity from other animals: fire. Without fire, you are just another animal lost in the forest. With fire, you become the supreme predator of the environment. But what if you have no matches or lighter? No problem. The classic method of dried wood friction such as cedar or willow still works, but requires superhuman patience and steel determination. If you have glasses, magnifying glass, or any glass lens, you can concentrate the sun's rays at one point until you create combustion. But here is the trick that no one tells you. An ordinary balloon full of water and molded in lens shape works exactly the same. In cold climates, you can even sculpt a piece of transparent lens-shaped ice for the same effect. But if you have no natural material to create the first flame, you will be shocked to find out how many day-to-day items are incendiary bombs disguised. Salgadinos, like Doritos, burn like torches because of concentrated oil. Socks are practically textile gunpowder. Alcohol-based disinfectant is pure liquid fuel, and the inner foam of most backpack loops is highly flammable material. But here is the most genius trick of all. If you have an ordinary battery and a gum package with aluminum foil, you have a professional incendiary device. Simply touch each tip of the package at the battery poles and look at the aluminum foil if it heats until it catches fire. It is pure science working in your favor. With the dominated fire, it is time to turn it into a rescue tool. You will create SOS signs so effective that you will be seen miles away. First, choose a strategic place. High, visible, and isolated enough not to cause accidental fires. Think as a general planning a military operation. For really effective smoke signs, you need material that produces dense and dark smoke. Fresh pine, branches, damp leaves, or any rubber material. When burned, these materials create smoke columns that can be seen from space. Now comes the military signaling technique. Take a damp blanket or a large branch covered with green leaves and use it like a curtain over the fire. Cover for 3 to 4 seconds until the smoke stops completely. Then remove quickly to release a concentrated smoke explosion in the air. It's like sending smoke telegrams. The universal code is simple but can save your life. A gust of smoke communicates its general location. 2 straight gusts indicate that you are well and safe. 3 gusts in rapid succession is the extreme international emergency signal. Repeat these standards at regular intervals to maximize your chances of being detected by rescue teams, pilots, or even satellites. Now that you dominate the fire, you can purify any water you find by turning potentially deadly liquids into safe water to drink. Take a common plastic bottle and cut it into 2 halves. At the top, make several small holes in the lid. This will be your professional filtering station. Fill the upper half with strategic layers. First moss, then grass, then small stones, and if you can find, thin sand at the top. Each layer removes a different type of contaminant. It's like having a purification laboratory working by gravity. The water drips in the lower half, already filtered from sediment and visible impurities. Now put this filtered water to boil in the fire. While the bottle is full of water, it will endure the flames without melting. The water absorbs the heat and protects the plastic. But do not trust this method for long because melted plastic chemicals can be toxic. Here is an advanced purification trick. If you can find burnt wood coal, grind into small pieces and add to boiling water. Activated charcoal removes microscopic toxins and even improves the taste of water. It is aquarium filter technology working in the wild. The last thing you want when you are fighting for survival is to be attacked by swarms of blood-thirsty mosquitoes while trying to sleep. These small vampires are not just annoying. They can convey deadly diseases that will end their chances of survival. But the solution is simpler than you think. Find the nearest pine tree and collect a generous handful of the cooler green needles. Mosquitoes, flies, and other flying insects have a genetic aversion to the intense smell of pine. It's like kryptonite for them. Crush these needles well between your hands until you extract natural oils and rub vigorously in all your clothes. You will create a natural chemical barrier that insects cannot cross. And here is the bonus. Play some of these pine needles in your fire regularly. Aromatic smoke will create an air exclusion zone around your camp, keeping all flying insects far away. It's like having a natural air defense system working 24 hours a day. With shelter, fire, and guaranteed water, your body will soon start requiring fuel. Hunger will hit hard, but if you create complex traps as beyond your current skills, there are much easier and more accessible food sources than you think. Start by turning rotten wood and carefully examines the secret ecosystem under them. This is a supermarket of walking protein. Fat ants, crispy termites, juicy beetles, and plump larvae are all there, waiting to be collected. It may seem disgusting to civilized patterns, but these small protein packages contain more grass nutritional value than most conventional meats. Most can be consumed raw smoothly, or if you want something more palatable, cook for a few minutes on fire to create a more familiar texture. Just avoid spiders, ticks, and flies if you are not absolutely sure of the species. Better hungry for a few hours than poison yourself by ignorance. For survival vegetarians, recognizable wild fruits such as sweet blackberries, acidic gooseecks, and berries are safe and delicious. But record this golden rule in your mind. Any white fruit is almost always toxic to humans. Nature uses light colors as a universal warning of danger. Mushrooms are a biological minefield, but there are identification rules that can save your life. Look in damp and dark areas and choose only mushrooms with brown or dark gimmings at the bottom of the hat, combined with white, brown, or dark lids. These are usually safe for consumption. But never, under any circumstances, tap mushrooms with white gimmicks or bright red lids. These color combinations are warnings of nature that this mushroom can kill you in a matter of hours. When it comes to mushrooms, the rule is simple. If you have any questions, don't eat. It is better to be hungry for a poisoned dying. If the rescue does not arrive and you need to abandon your camp to look for civilization, but it has no compass or GPS working, it can still navigate how old explorers were centuries before modern technology existed. Get completely the popular myth that moss always grows on the north side of the trees. This is a dangerous lie that can make you walk in circles until you die of exhaustion. But if you wear analog clock, have a compass of military accuracy on your wrist. The technique is elegant in its simplicity. Hold the clock horizontally and point the hand power directly to the sun. Now, observe the exact point in the middle of the distance between the hands and the number 12 in the dial. This imaginary line points perfectly to the south in the northern hemisphere, or to the north if you are in the southern hemisphere. It is solar geometry working as navigation technology. But here is the secret I promised at first. Even with your smartphone completely without battery, it can still save your life. Carefully dismantle the device. You will find a survival tool treasure hidden inside. The front camera mirror becomes a flag that can be seen miles away. Circuit boards can be broken and sharp to create surprisingly effective emergency knives. But the crown jewel is hidden behind the speaker system, a small, super powerful magnet. Take any thin metal object, a needle, pin, hair staple, or even an unleashed wire, and rub vigorously against this magnet for at least 5 minutes. You are transferring magnetic properties to the metal, turning it into a compass of precision. Now put this magnetized metal on a leaf floating in a pool of standing water, or gently balances on a smooth surface. As a magic, it will automatically align with the Earth's natural magnetic poles, creating a perfect north-south line for navigation. It is technology of the 20th century, and one being used for primitive survival. San Movedica is not exclusive to cinematic deserts. It may appear treacherously close to rivers, lakes, swamps, or even beaches after storms. If you feel the floor begins to suck your feet, each second account to determine if you will be alive from this natural trap. Your first action should be immediately get rid of any extra weight, backpack, heavy shoes, coats, or equipment. Each kilo less increases its chances of escaping before sink beyond the point without return. Here is the scientific fact that can save your life. The human body is naturally less dense than moved sand, so theoretically it is impossible to sink completely. But this protection only works if you keep absolute calm. Desperate and frantic movements create waves in the sand that suck you faster down, such as fighting running water. The exhaust technique is counterintuitive but scientifically proven. Lie completely on your back to distribute your weight evenly through the largest possible surface. Now replicate back swim movements in slow motion, using large and controlled arm movements to gradually propel yourself backwards. Once your legs are free from deadly suction, don't stand up. Keep rolling away from the dangerous area until it reaches completely firm soil. You will be covered with mud from head to toe, looking like a swamp monster, but you will be alive and free to continue your survival journey. The wild nature may seem like a relentless enemy, ready to destroy you at the first opportunity. But now you have an arsenal of knowledge that transforms each natural challenge into an opportunity to demonstrate your intelligence and human adaptability. You are no longer a lost victim in the forest. You are a survivor equipped with thousands of years of accumulated human wisdom. Always remember, the difference between surviving and perishing is not in physical strength or luck, but in the ability to keep calm under extreme pressure. Properly prioritize your basic needs and use creativity to turn limited resources into life-saving solutions. Would you be able to apply all these techniques in a real situation of life or death? Do you know other survival strategies that can complement this arsenal of knowledge? Your experiences and tips can save the lives of other potential survivors, so share in the comments right now.